Meeting the Amherst Township Trustees called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Abraham?
Here.
Lynch?
Here.
Urick?
Yes.
And I am present. We have the meeting minutes from November 25th, 2025 in front of everybody. You've been emailed them. I would like to ask that we can begin to waive the reading of the minutes for time, since you've already all seen them, and approve with a motion. Moving forward.
I'll make a motion that we have the option of dispensing with reading the minutes at all future meetings and accepting as presented or corrected.
Second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Urick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, that's something you're going to continue on, or?
Yeah, that's the way I put the motion. I just think it'd be easier, David, but, you know, since you do receive them ahead of time to make the corrections, but if you see something else, you know, prior to the meeting beginning, point it out, and it'll be as corrected. But you'll have to read the section that you're correcting or, you know, found some sort of discrepancy or disagree with, okay?
Okie dokie. So then we have our financial reports, and let me see what I have. Financial reports, you have a payment listing. Jeremy, I apologize, I just realized I had printer difficulties, otherwise I would have had some printed up for you as well, so you could have followed along.
All good, thank you.
Pretty much boilerplate. You can see I had 4 voided checks, which was part of the issue with my printer. But everything is really, so far this month, has just been boilerplate bills. So that is that. Our year-to-date revenue is $1,781,269.76. And our expenditures are $1,172,162.39. And that is it for my financial report.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports and the payments, the items on the payment listing as specified in the documents provided by the fiscal officer.
Second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Urick? Abraham?
Yes. What was House? Oh, let's see.
That's our cleaning.
Oh, okay.
What was that motion number, Chris?
12-2 for financials.
And we'll move on. I'm sure you haven't heard anything from the auditor.
I have not heard anything from the auditor. Let's see what I have. I was typing in 1125, so now I'm back on 12-9. I'm still waiting to hear back from the state auditor's office. And that is, other than me beginning year-end already, trying to get the zoning payroll taken care of. There's issues with one of the groups. Bill got his all in and corrected, and there's just some work Lonnie has to do.
I saw the post-it notes.
Yeah, so we'll get that taken care of hopefully by the end of the week.
Okay. And I assume you've been in contact with Lonnie then?
I have not, because I just saw the notes for the first time. When I was here on Sunday,
Oh,
the
those
notes
aren't your
were not.
notes?
No, those are
Okay.
not my notes. I don't know who was looking at them, if it was Linda or Morgan, but, you know, things are not matching up, so I'm glad that they looked at it as well.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions on the financial reports?
No.
Okay, we'll move on. I'd like to welcome everyone in attendance. If anyone has anything to bring before the trustees, please raise your hand. Were you going to say anything tonight, or? Okay, all right. All right, we'll move on. Correspondence, I mean, we got the other item. Oh, and Chris, I have the note on there about Lorraine County Township Association Christmas banquet, and so I don't forget, for the door prize that's authorized at the township expenditure, I got a $25 gift certificate at Fowles Farm Market, a $25 gift certificate at Groves Fruit Farm. You know, typically we've been doing that for local businesses in the township, for our door prize at their Christmas banquet, so I'll give you those receipts this evening. Okay, we'll move on to ambulance report. You have in your packet, there is a summary of the meeting that the Sandstone Joint Ambulance District held on December 2nd. We still have not received the service call data for the last 2 quarters from Life Care. I know that they've got that new software that they implemented this year, and when we had worked with Kim Mason, one of their co-CEOs in the past, she was taking that information and then reformatting it in an Excel spreadsheet, which is prone to errors, and we did point out some errors. She's trying to get it where she can pull the information directly from the software into a summary report. The specific thing that we're generally most interested in is the service responses that are beyond the federal time limit and how many of those there are and where they're located. The board is still interested in looking at billing for non-resident motor vehicle accidents. I've discussed this in the past, and at this point it appears that the 3 entities that are part of the Sandstone Joint Ambulance District are all in support of that, but it's pending some additional information. You know, we still need to know the number of non-resident motor vehicle accidents, what the trends are, and the financial impact to make sure that this is actually even worth the administrative effort. I can tell you that one of the EMS billing companies, because we looked at 4 different ones that are out there, one that's used by several of the local communities here in Lorraine County, and then 3 that were at the last year's Ohio Township Association Winter Conference that I provided. I don't know that the 4th one wasn't there, but when I was going around to the vendors, I only found those 3, but we've got 4 that we can look at. I can tell you the group would probably be leaning towards the provider that's currently working with Lorraine County, but that brings up another question, and that's a legal question for the attorneys. Is this something where the district can select a provider if they decide to go that way, or do they have to send this out for proposals and give each one of them an opportunity? I realize there's some concerns because of the size and the amount of time that these organizations have been in existence and how many different other entities they work with. Brandon Demakia, who is the chair of the board and also the Amherst Fire Department, he's going to actually contact the local law enforcement agencies to see if they've got an estimate also on uninsured motorists, because realize that if we go forward, the billing is going to the individual and their insurance company. Well, then there's a concern how many of these people actually are even carrying insurance. As much as they sign a notice when they get their license at the DMV that they have insurance, we know that people aren't always honest when they sign those things, or they could have lost insurance in between. Another question is if we build these for the EMS service that's provided, and realize that it'd be our first responders for the fire department that go out in addition to life care for non-residents, is how do the financials flow? I can tell you the Sandstone Joint Ambulance District currently does not handle any funds. All the funds are handled by the various 3 entities themselves, and we'd like to keep it that way, again, because there's no real staff there for the board, and then they don't want to have another separate audit. They'd much rather those audits on those funds be up to the 3 partner entities. We'd also want to make sure that those 3 partner entities, if we do go forward, of billing for motor vehicle accidents for people outside the district who aren't paying any funds to the district, that those funds actually go back to the EMS funds for the various partners and not into their general fund, so that they're actually used for supporting EMS. So I think that's pretty much a summary. These are just my notes because obviously we haven't had the official minutes come out and be approved yet. Okay? If there's no questions, we'll move on. Okay, zoning inspector, Ryan Valentin.
Yeah, so the rezone for Mr. Lilly's property from a R2 to an R3 was approved at the zoning commission. Foundations Nursing Home and McDonald's in Sandstone Parkway will be doing their final site plan January 6th. And M&K Trucking is proposing a new building, so they will be doing their preliminary site plan that day as well. No new permits, so nothing's changed there. That's all I have to add.
Do we have a report on that, or?
No, it didn't change from last month.
I just, everything, I don't have everything that you said, so you'll have to get with me after.
Okay, we'll do.
And M&K Trucking, they haven't set a date for the site plan?
Yeah, so they're submitting everything tomorrow, and they'll be on January 6th as well.
Oh, they're, okay. Any questions for Ryan? Okay, well, Ryan did bring up the rezoning request there on Broadway, where they're rezoning from the R2 medium density residential to the R3 Broadway/Taylor district. You've got in your packet the public hearing notice that would go out on the township's website and also social media account. And so what I'm asking here, if the trustees agree that the public hearing will actually be on, let's see, let me get the date here, on December 23rd at 7:30, so at our next meeting. Since we've got to make sure that when we post this, it's not more than, the public hearing's not more than 30 days from receipt of the information from the zoning commission. So this should give us plenty of time, and Linda will get it up on social media. Georgianne will take care of the putting it on the website. So the information is all displayed. It's, you know, everything in the box plus the posting, since we have to put who's giving the notice. So, you know, it's going to have my name there and the date of the notice. So I don't know if you guys reviewed that prior to the meeting, if there were any changes or issues with this.
No issues with
You okay, David?
No, as long as we meet the time frame.
Okay. Fire prevention. Okay, roads, parks, and cemeteries. Superintendent Schmarsh, are you hot-blooded today, or
I'm sorry?
hot-blooded today with
Yeah.
sleeveless T-shirt?
Yeah, definitely. Temperature's warming up.
Yeah.
Hey, all regular maintenance going on. Everything's running pretty smooth. We've been salting, plowing the roads. I have our first order of salt ordered, but it's not been scheduled yet for delivery. I am going to be meeting with Shane and Jim tomorrow at 10 o'clock at the yard waste pile. Hopefully to get scheduled for them to grind that pile up and haul it out. But he just, we were talking through text, and he wants to meet with, or they want to meet with me tomorrow. One other thing is I had to get some cutting edges from Judco, so I stopped at Judco today to pick them up. They were ordered 2 months ago, but we have those carbide pieces that go on there, and that's where the big holdup was. Well, while I was there, speaking with Sherry, she said that R&R Mac had called them. So we kind of went through a little bit of a rundown there. she took us out into the shop, and they're actually building a Mac for Lafayette Township right now. And I just told her, I said, you know, I might be talking with you before too long, but, you know, it's kind of, the ball's in their court right now. But I just thought that was kind of interesting that they're probably calling around now that Barb, you know.
Right, now the prosecutor's talking with them.
Right. So that's good, though. That means that ball is rolling, and at least something is happening. She also said that if it was to take place at Judco, at the time the truck would be dropped off, they would do the measurement and all that kind of stuff to make sure everything was legit. It'd be 28 weeks out. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on there. Yeah. Right. But other than that, everything's been
But it's
running
right in the middle
smooth.
of summer.
Yeah, yep, definitely. Everything's been running smooth. We did spring a leak on a power steering reservoir on the 96, and calling around, looking around, trying to find the parts for that through Ford. It was, it's been gone for over 10 years. So we were able to match one up with an international and did some shucking and jiving with some fittings and was able to make it work out actually perfectly. So
Okay.
just one of them things. You know, every time you get a snowstorm, I'm always crossing my fingers, hoping that, because you can't just go down to the local store and buy parts for that truck.
Right. That's a messy job, too.
Yeah, definitely. But that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Are there any questions for Kevin? All right, we'll move on. Linda's not here this evening, and we can discuss later why she's not here. Okay, I do want to move on to a review of our last meeting. Morgan, can you bring up the annualized estimate for the maintenance of Oberlin Road? Just a quick review, and you guys have copies if you can't see this on the screen. Right now, the maintenance cost on Oberlin Road of the township is approximately $126,000 on an annual basis, and we've been in multi-year discussion with switching that responsibility to the county engineer. The county engineer's been agreeable as long as the township would take over the responsibility for the winter maintenance of Sandstone Parkway, since we've got the smaller single-axle trucks that'll get around the roundabouts. And we've agreed to that trade-off, and it's also, in terms of mileage, going from a 3-mile road on Oberlin Road to a 1.25 mile approximate road distance for Sandstone Parkway. And, you know, as far as the amount of salt we're going to use is going to be minor, and we've got to go down that road anyway to hit the subdivision roads. That'll be the township responsibility. So it's not going to be a significant increase in labor hours either. But the last meeting, David, you brought up a concern about that this might impact the township if we gave up Oberlin Road, that would reduce our motor vehicle fuel tax. And I said, well, David, can you check into that? Because I don't believe it has any impact. It used to when there was a different alternate formula for distribution of local government fund, but when the city of Lorraine filed an appeal with the Ohio Board of Tax Appeals, the communities in Lorraine County came up with a different alternate formula where no longer does road mileage have any impact whatsoever. So now it's just you brought up the next monkey wrench was the motor vehicle fuel tax. Did you check on that to see if there's any impact?
I sent an email out to the county engineer waiting for a response.
When did you
what I
send
did.
that?
I got that out today.
Today? Well, that's a little late because we're meeting today.
I know.
I can tell you right now, Morgan, can you bring up the document, distribution Ohio motor vehicle fuel tax? Okay, this document, David, you have a copy within your packet there. I can tell you if you follow through this, you're going to get a headache. And then you've got to do it in combination with reading the Ohio Revised Code. I think they made it confusing on purpose. This almost, I would say they're pretty close to what insurance writers and those selling annuities like to put together to make sure they confuse the heck out of people. But I'll give you the short story so you don't have to read through all this and try and follow it. Switching Oberlin Road to the county responsibility will have zero impact on the distribution of the Ohio Motor Vehicle Fuel Tax to Amherst Township. And Morgan, can you go to the spreadsheet itself? Okay. Here is currently what, in this, it'll show up monthly, what Amherst Township receives in their motor vehicle fuel tax. Obviously, the impact on the amount of fuel that's used, you know, you've also got compressed natural gas that's in there. We've also got the now alternative vehicles, and there's a fee that's charged on those. So between a combination of fuel usage, types of vehicles, the information from the Department of Motor Vehicles determines what revenue we receive. And we've already received through November in your financial reports that you had at the last meeting, Chris had the total in there, which was the $12,765.47. There's two buckets of money where you receive it from versus the old version. We used to have 5 different sources of the revenue. So now it's at least down to 2. And then now, Morgan, can you go to the tab that shows what each individual entity within Lorraine County receives? And this I did not print. Yeah, if you can blow that up, only because it's too busy. It shows every township within the state of Ohio. And if you follow down in the columns there, it'll actually cite the 2 sections of the Ohio Revised Code where they determine what this distribution is. And essentially for the one section, it's all the townships in Ohio get the same amount. So again, no impact on mileage. You go to the other column where there is some increase. There's actually 2 formula they use. They either use the one where they distribute it evenly to all the townships, and you'll see most of the townships, of the 18 townships in Lorraine County, 15 of them get the exact same amount, regardless of the road mileage. And 3 of them actually get more, and that's Columbia, Eaton, and Carlisle Township, which are highlighted in yellow. Amherst Township's highlighted in the pink up there. Morgan chose the colors, I didn't. Because this alternate formula where they talk about the 70%, David, I'll let you read that if you care to read it.
70%, the 50/50 of the 70%.
They go based on centerline road miles within the township,
Yeah.
not township road mileage, all road mileage. So again, the impact of moving Overland Road, the responsibility of the county engineer, will have 0 impact on the distribution of funds to Amherst Township. So now, hearing that, do you have any other objection to this transfer of Overland Road from Amherst Township to Lorraine County engineer?
I'm still not comfortable with it, you know, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, well, do you have any explanation of what would make you more comfortable or why you're uncomfortable?
At this time, nothing further than what I've said in the past.
But what have you said in the past specifically?
Well, what I said in the past is, we maintained it before in the past. Haven't had difficulty that way. Some concern as far as if it becomes a county road, will it be over-engineered? Will it become another middle ridge? What say do you have in that? Concern that way. other ways. I'm just, reluctant to just say, go, away with it. I mean, if we're gonna do that, then we should probably try to get rid of as many roads as we can.
I agree with that. That's the one statement I agree with. And I've mentioned that before. If we try to get rid of the portion Middle Ridge we have, if we try to get rid of Stang Road, Owl Road, any one of those roads, the answer is going to be no. Because then every township would want to give up their road since it's one of their biggest costs. And, I'll explain my logic for this. As I've said all along, we're trying to reduce costs of the township and increase revenue. We went to the residents for a new levy for roads, remember that? The residents turned it down. So if they turned it down, how can we reduce costs within the township? And one of them is transferring Overland Road. And the only way we've got the county to agree to this is because, okay, if you take care of Sandstone Parkway, which obviously the county wanted to see that development occur, but that development created one slight obstacle, and I told you, I joked with them that we've got better plow drivers, but it is because of the size and the type of equipment. We deliberately put in those roundouts to calm traffic, so it wouldn't become a speedway, because that's like Hidden Valley. One of the biggest complaints we get from people is speeding down the main drags. Hidden Valley Drive and Hidden Tree Lane, the two biggest ones. A little bit on Deepwood, but those two main roads, we get constant complaints about speeders. So we put those obstructions in on purpose to slow people down. But it does create a difficulty for the county-sized plow. So this just seems like a good arrangement. Will save us over $126,000 a year. So there's the cost saving. The other thing is, it's already been determined because another township challenge where it went the other way, the county commissioners can actually turn a road over to the township and there's absolutely nothing. We've got a judge here, he's actually in probate court, so it's not his specialty. But guess what? It was determined the townships have absolutely no standing in opposing that. The town said, wait a minute, we don't want this road. Well, guess what? The way it's written, the state identifies their roads, the county commissioners identify their roads, everything that's left, that's our responsibility. And they can change their mind at any time, and there isn't a darn thing we can do about it. So if we've got them willing to work with us on this one, it just seems like a real good cooperative partnership. And I've tried to address all your concerns. Even now, I just heard over-engineering. You realize I take offense at that, being a retired engineer. Over-engineering usually means to me that you've actually put more cost or more safety factor within the design of a product than necessary. And usually on the business end, you always have the CEO and marketing and sales people want that cost driven down so that they're more competitive. And so I don't see this as an issue. The other thing I've said, the only section of Overland Road that's not a county road is a section in Amherst Township. Well, why is the rest county road and this section is township road when the population density isn't a whole lot different? It just, the logic is difficult to understand. So at this point, I'm just going to keep on moving forward, and what I'm going to do, since there's been some objection, the county engineer has asked us, though the county commissioners, with the agreement of the county engineer, can just take over Overland Road. Since there's been some concern expressed here, they asked we go through a petition process. So now I'm going to have to go door to door with extra work because you're uncomfortable with this change. So, and that's fine, but I'm looking for the specifics of trying to address that uncomfort. I'm certainly not going to go to the engineers and say, do less engineering on a road design. That would seem counterproductive. So I hope, any other objection you have from a factual basis, I hope I've addressed it. But I'm going to move forward now and go knocking door to door to get people to sign a petition on this. Okay?
All right. I
Okay.
regret it.
with Linda not here, we do have, still on roads, is recall that we had sent the resolution to the county auditor to determine what the amount of revenue would be generated for 1 mil today. Obviously, the new construction is the only thing that's making the difference here as far as this is a voted levy. And since we're up for the 5-year renewal, you will see what's available to you as the document that was provided by the auditor. And 1 mil road levy right now will be roughly $131,000. If you recall, previously it was about $126,000. So there's an additional $5,000 in there since 5 years ago. And again, these are just the best estimates that the county auditor can provide us. So this is a multi-step process to get this on the ballot for the May 5th, 2026 election. And we have to have this completed 90 days prior to that election. So this is the resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation per revised code section 5705.19 and .26. So I'm going to make that motion to bring this to the floor.
I'll second it.
Okay, is there any other discussion on this?
This is to put the levy on the ballot, correct?
Yes, it is. And
Here it is.
And Chris, just so you're aware, a certified copy of this has to go to the
Board of
auditor
Elections.
and the Board of Elections, but the auditor first. Okay? But yes, David, that's all it is. So it'll be a renewal of our existing levy. Okay, any other questions? Not, then roll call, Chris?
Lynch?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
The number on that, Chris?
12,325.
Okay, for the other items of unfinished business that are assigned specific responsibility, is there anything there to bring before the trustees? David?
Nothing to bring forward this time.
Okay. Well, I'll give another chance, and I think since we got another visitor, does anyone have anything to bring before the trustees they wish to present?
I just need to say hello to everyone.
Oh, good.
Why is all the lights off?
Thought there was a poker game going on, huh?
And it was towards the end of the year. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. It's been 15 years since I've been here.
Yeah, well, thanks for showing up, Judge. All right, well, I will
Thanks,
have...
Judge. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. I will have a need for an executive session, and let me first give the one we won't be having is, the prosecutor's not here, and that's in regards to the truck that Kevin brought up. And, hopefully that's going to move in a positive direction, so there's no need for a discussion of that in executive session. And there'll be no need for you to be involved in the executive session, Kevin. But the two items, I do have one, which is a question on a zoning issue, so I want Ryan, I want you to stay here for that one. And then I've got, the other will deal with personnel here, because I want to try and get things nailed down for end-of-year meeting where we reset or make any adjustments to the wage rates and any type of change that might occur in personnel. And I can tell you that the November Consumer Price Index information won't be out until December 18th. And one of the other local communities has not provided me with what they're doing, since we always look at, what's our competition doing in terms of raises or adjustments for their personnel that are equivalent to township personnel. So that being said, I'm going to make a motion to enter into executive session per Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22 G3 concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject to pending or imminent court action. And this will be in regards to the zoning issue, Chris, and this is specifically on site plan review. And then also per 121.22G1 to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employees, which I'd already previously explained. So that'll be my motion.
Second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
And
Aye.
I'll make a motion to return to the regular meeting from executive session at 8:52 PM.
Second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Okay, is there any other business?
No.
I have nothing else.
All right, our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, December 23rd at 7 o'clock PM. And that will be our end-of-year meeting for 2025. And then we will have the 2026 organizational meeting on, it's actually a Monday, right?
Yep.
January 5th, 2026. And we will be canceling the meeting on Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. I will get those posted for those changes in the meetings. No audience concerns. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Well, we didn't vote on your resolution.
Did we vote on it?
On what resolution?
To come back from executive
Yes,
session?
we did.
We
Lynch
did.
Lynch and Euring
Yes, and you.
at 8:52.
Yes, we
All
did.
right.
So now we have a motion from Euring to adjourn.
Second?
Lynch seconded. Euring?
Yes.
Lynch?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.